Hey everybody, welcome to everybody flip around, why don't you? Welcome everybody watching the replay. Thank you for joining. Tweaky, Porto, everybody else, thank you. I'm excited today. We are talking this week about leading from inspiration. Hello Alani, thank you for joining. Not from fear. And we're actually continuing the story that we talked about yesterday. We had Saul yesterday in the Israelite army facing this massive Philistine army. He had 600 people and they probably had like 100,000. So you can tell that there's probably a lot of good things to learn about inspiration versus fear and leadership and what in the heck do you do in that situation. So what we're not just talking about, and I think you guys know this if you followed along. Look at that. Look at my hair sticking up. We're not just talking about the Bible and stories in the Bible. We're talking about stories in the Bible that absolutely apply to our lives. And I mean, they had to face leadership challenges unlike what most of us have to face. And yet we give in, and we kind of buckle under pressure of much less stuff, right? We know that's true. Every day, every one of us is facing challenges. Or every day, every one of us has a dream or a goal, good morning, hi, that we want to go after, right? And we can learn a lot from the Bible in terms of how to pursue it. So yesterday, Saul gave in under pressure, had a lot of fear. We learned that when you have fear, you get anxious, you make bad decisions. So we got to get rid of fear. And we also learned that fear is faith in something that's not good for you. So if you got fear, then you're not believing in the good thing, right? You're believing in the bad thing. Now, Jonathan, Saul's son, I don't know where Jonathan learned it because he's Saul's son, but Jonathan actually does not have very much fear. In fact, you might think he's a little crazy. Thank you for all your hearts. You might think Jonathan's a little crazy, all right? Now we're in 1 Samuel 14, okay? We're in the same battle, okay? And they've got kind of this ridge, this, what do you call that? Valley between the two armies. One army's got like 100,000 people. One army's got 600 people. It's a joke, right? Okay, so if you've ever faced a big fear or a big challenge or a big goal or a big dream, right? It doesn't matter if it's in your family, it's with your kids, it's in your business, in your life, it's paying your bills, or it's just a big dream. I want to be doing more than I'm doing. I want to be impacting more than I'm impacting. I feel inside of me that I've been called to something, but I cannot seem to get over myself. I cannot seem to get over the hump. I cannot seem to get to it and do something about it. But I know I've got more in me than the world is seeing. I've seen in me more than the world currently sees, and I'm frustrated because I want them to see it too, right? Yeah, we can absolutely pray for them. Put it up there and tell us about them. Everybody who's watching will pray for them. So thank you. So if that's you, you can know that Jonathan in chapter 14 of 1 Samuel is in the same boat as you because he's got 600 men versus 100,000, but he's going to inspire you. Okay, so it says in the beginning of chapter 14, one day Jonathan said to his armor bearer, come on, let's go over and see where the Philistines, that's the guys with 100,000, have their outposts. But Jonathan did not tell his father what he was doing, Saul. Okay, so point number one today, we're going to have 5 points. Point number one today. Do not tell the negative people about the crazy, awesome thing you're about to attempt. They're not going to make you feel any better about it. Okay, you are the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with, right? You need confidence and courage. You need to be encouraged. Encourage means to give courage. You need courage. Thank you. Yeah, awesome. Thank you for posting your prayer. You need courage to do things. So do not tell people who are going to discourage you that you're about to go attempt it. Now, don't do something stupid. If you're getting some good, wise advice, that's good. But if you're about to go do something that gets you out of your comfort zone, do not tell the person who's going to say, you don't really want to do that. That's not going to be fun. Stay away from that. That's point number one. Point number two is, it says, one day Jonathan said to his armor bearer. So Jonathan did not try to attempt it alone. It is good to get a buddy. It is good to have somebody on your side. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and give away the story. They do go up and fight just this little outpost of Philistines, 20 people. That's nice. 20 people, right? And they defeat them. The reason Jonathan's able to defeat them, one reason other than God, is because his armor bearer has his back. Okay? So his armor bearer is fighting the people that are coming at him from the back. So it is important when you want to lead from inspiration, when you want to lead from encouragement, when you want to be bold, when you want to take on a challenge or pursue a goal or a dream, to have somebody who is a buddy with you, right? Who is supporting you, who's picking you up when you're down and has got your back. All right, that's point number 2. Okay, so let's go on down. Point number 3 is that Jonathan said to his armor bearer, okay, let's go across to the outposts. Perhaps the Lord will help us, for nothing can hinder the Lord. He can win a battle, whether he has many warriors or only a few. Okay, so Jonathan's perspective is the exact opposite of Saul's perspective. And what that tells us is, okay, and I'm not trying to come between, by the way, you and your best friend or you and your spouse or something, but you and your spouse could be looking at something and say, maybe your spouse says to you, your best friend says to you, somebody says to you, some voice, maybe in a voice in your head says to you, I don't know if you can do that. I don't know if you're equipped to do that. I don't know if you're strong enough to do that. I don't know if you're able to do that thing you want. I mean, it's a good thing you want to take on. It's noble. It's good. You want to change the whole world, right? But I don't know if you've got that. All right. They've got one perspective. You can either take on their perspective. Jonathan could take on his father's perspective of these 100,000 people, and I wouldn't blame him, frankly. Or he can have a different perspective. Right? We said yesterday, if you can't change your challenge, you got to change your perspective. Okay. If you got a bunch of people around you saying, this is the perspective that we have, that might just be wise advice and you want to go with it. But sometimes you just need a different perspective, okay, in order to face that challenge or overcome it. Okay. Point number 4 is here. Jonathan says to his armor bearer, okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to cross over. So he's going to go down the little valley and up the other side. We're going to cross over, and if they say to us, stay where you are, we'll kill you, then we're going to take that as a sign from God to stop. But if they say, come on up and fight, then we'll take that as a sign from God to go on up and fight them, okay? So signs. Here's what we're talking about. What I want you to do if you want to lead from inspiration and encouragement and boldness and go out there and say, yes, today is an amazing day. And whatever the challenge I'm facing or whatever the dream I have, I am going to either overcome it or pursue it. You got to remember what God has done for you in the past. You've got to remember the victories you've had in the past. You've got to hold on to what's the one thing that happened yesterday that was a good thing. Do not hold on to the things in your mind, because there's going to be a lot of them. There's a lot of opportunity to be negative in here. Do not hold on to all the things. Do not go to sleep counting your negativity. Do not go to sleep counting your failures. Do not do that. There's no value in that. Instead, go to sleep saying, man, God, you did this today and you did this today. And in fact, you helped me do this today. It was awesome. And it might be a really little thing, okay? Like faith as small as a mustard seed, but you hold on to that really little thing. Okay, you plant that really little thing in your mind, your heart, and your belief, and it will grow up into like this massive tree of faith and belief. And you'll be like, wow, where did that faith and belief come from? It came from that little thing that you wouldn't let go. So you keep holding on to it. Here's the last point. Okay, it says that Jonathan and his armor bearer went up, all right? They fought these guys. They defeated 20 of these guys. They defeated 20 out of 100,000. They just defeated 20 out of 100,000. And it says in verse 15, suddenly, panic broke out in the Philistine army. What? Panic broke out in the Philistine army, okay? And they started running around and going, they got confused and they're like, what's happening here? What's happening here? It's like if you get a mosquito coming at you and you're like, I got it. I'm missing it. It keeps biting me. What do? I don't know what to do with the mosquito, right? And then it says in verse 16, Saul's lookouts, so they're watching, they're like, what? Because they don't know that Jonathan went, by the way. Saul's lookouts are like, well, look, the vast army of Philistines has begun to melt away in every direction. How did that happen? What happened? Okay, here's the last point. If you will choose faith and belief and inspiration and encouragement at any moment, in an instant, your entire situation could change for the better. If you will choose belief and faith, inspiration, encouragement at any moment, you could be 600 people and they're 100,000 people. And at any moment, some little part of your belief goes out and fights 20 of the 100,000. That little, you bite off just as much as you can chew of the challenge today. And all of a sudden, the whole challenge changes tomorrow. Today, you're pursuing a goal. Okay. You do just a little bit. You take one step towards the goal today. One step. And out there, stuff that you can't control, but God can control. Somehow you wake up tomorrow and the rest of it's complete. It's done because your whole life can change in an instant if you will stay faithful, if you will stay on the road, and if you will stay believing and holding on to the things that matter. So let's do a quick review. You need a buddy. Number 2, do not talk to negative people if you want to stay positive. Number 3, 2 people can see the same situation totally differently. So get the right perspective. Number 4 is that you got to hold on to the positive things from yesterday. Okay. You got to build your belief and you look for it, you dig for it, and then you plant it and it will grow to a strong belief. And last, your situation can change at any time. So lead with those beliefs, the people who are following you, who are watching you. And remember from day one, who are you watching? Who's watching you? Live this out for them and look for it in others so that you can learn from them and be inspired by them every day. All right. Thank you guys. We will see you here tomorrow, 11 Eastern. Thank you for joining us. Bye.